When we encounter a dog abandoned to the elements, our instinct is to reach for the soap. But in a clinical rescue environment, the first step isn't a bath, it's an assessment. We are looking at a biological system in power save mode. Observe this subject. The flea infestation isn't just a surface nuisance. It is a parasitic drain on the dog's life force. Fleas consume up to 15 times their body weight in blood every day. On a dog this size, with an infestation this dense, we are looking at a state of chronic anemia. His heart is beating faster just to move a diminished volume of oxygen-carrying red blood cells through his system. Look at the crust. This isn't just dirt. It is a mixture of flea dirt, digested blood, dried sebum, and secondary bacterial infections like Staphylococcus pseudointermedius. Because the dog's immune system is occupied with internal survival, it has stopped patrolling the skin. The skin barrier has leaked, allowing moisture to escape and pathogens to enter. Before the first drop of water touches him, we check the capillary refill time. We press a finger against his gums. They should turn from white back to pink in under 2 seconds. If they don't, his blood pressure is too low for the stress of a bath. We must stabilize the inside before we can fix the outside. We begin the grooming process not with water, but with a targeted oral insecticide. Why oral? Because we need to kill the fleas from the inside out before we disturb them. If we put a flea-infested dog directly into water, the parasites will migrate en masse to the only dry spots left, the eyes, the nose, and the ears, causing intense distress and potential injury. We apply a heavy medical-grade mineral oil or a specialized crust softener to the most heavily matted and infected areas. This serves 2 purposes. It suffocates remaining adult fleas. It breaks the biofilm that holds the grime to the skin. Now, we introduce the water. It must be tepid, exactly 37 degrees 6. A dog in this state cannot thermoregulate. If the water is too hot, his blood vessels will dilate too quickly, causing him to faint. If it's too cold, he will shiver, burning the last of his glucose. As the water runs over his back, we see the red river. This is the visual signature of the flea's presence. It is the blood of the host, excreted by the flea, now being reconstituted by the water. It is a sobering reminder that this dog has been a walking buffet for months. We use a 2-step shampoo process. The first is a degreaser. The stray smell is actually the scent of rancid fats and bacteria. We must strip this away without stripping the underlying moisture. We don't scrub with our fingernails. We use the pads of our fingers in a rhythmic circular motion. This is lymphatic drainage. By massaging the skin as we wash, we are encouraging the dog's lymph system to begin moving toxins out of the tissues. The second wash uses a chlorhexidine or miconazole-based shampoo. This must sit on the skin for a minimum of 10 minutes. This is the contact time. During these 10 minutes, the medication is penetrating the hair follicles to kill the yeast and bacteria that have taken up residence in the absence of a healthy coat. Watch the dog's reaction. This is the sensory reset. After the initial shock of the water, the dog often enters a trance-like state. The removal of the biting fleas and the heavy, itchy crust provides an immediate neurological relief. The brain, which has been screaming danger for months, finally receives a calm signal. Once the dog is clean, we face the naked truth. Often the hair must be clipped short, not for aesthetics, but for health. Matting isn't just messy, it's a tourniquet. It pulls on the skin, cutting off blood flow to the surface. A dog has 2 types of hair: the guard hair, the outer coat, and the undercoat. In a rescue dog, the undercoat is usually a tangled, felted mess that traps moisture against the skin, creating a hot spot. By removing this, we allow the skin to breathe for the first time in a year. Because we have stripped away the bad oils, we must replace them with good ones. We apply a leave-in conditioner rich in omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids. The skin absorbs these lipids, which help to repair the stratum corneum, the outermost layer of the skin that acts as a shield. The grooming table is only half the battle. Now we focus on the anatomy of weight. A starving dog doesn't just lose fat, he loses muscle. The body condition score, BCS, for this dog is a 1 out of 9. We cannot simply give him a bowl of kibble. His digestive enzymes have gone to sleep. We feed him small, frequent meals of highly digestible, high-energy, HDHE food. We are looking for a weight gain of about 1–2% of his body weight per week. Any faster, and we risk refeeding syndrome, which can lead to heart failure. Protein is the building block of hair. For the next 30 days, 30% of his caloric intake must be high-quality animal protein. This ensures the body has enough excess to invest in growing a new coat while still repairing internal organs 1 month later. The transformation is no longer just visible, it's structural. The new fur coming in is soft. Why? Because the follicles are now being fed by a rich blood supply. We see the bloom. This is the term for when a dog's coat begins to reflect light instead of absorbing it. The dog's posture has changed. He no longer carries his tail in a protective tuck. His core muscles have strengthened, allowing him to hold his head above the level of his shoulders. This is the postural confidence of a healthy animal. As we look at the finished transformation, we must realize that this wasn't just a glow-up. It was a medical intervention. To rescue a dog from abandonment is to act as a surrogate immune system. We provided the barriers, shampoo oil, the fuel, nutrition, and the defense, insecticides, that his body could no longer provide for itself. Neglect is a slow process, and recovery is equally slow. But the biological resilience of a dog is one of the wonders of the natural world. From a flea-infested skeleton to a vibrant, glossy companion, the journey is written in his skin, his coat, and his newly steady heartbeat. While we have focused on the muscles and the skin, we cannot ignore the most complex organ, the brain. Abandonment creates a state of chronic hypervigilance. In this state, the amygdala, the brain's fear center, is constantly firing. During the grooming process, we utilize T-touch or therapeutic massage. This isn't just for comfort, it is to stimulate the vagus nerve. By activating the parasympathetic nervous system, we are teaching the dog's brain how to turn off the stress response. A neglected dog often loses proprioception, the sense of where his limbs are in space. Because he has been confined or weakened, his brain-to-body connection is frayed. As we groom his paws and trim his nails, we are remapping his brain. We are reminding him that he has 4 strong legs to stand on. A transformation is temporary if the environment remains hostile. The flea life cycle is 90% in the environment and only 10% on the dog. A single flea can lay 50 eggs a day. These eggs drop off the dog like microscopic seeds. To truly save this dog, we must treat the den. We educate the viewers on the integrated pest management (IPM) approach. Vacuuming removes 90% of eggs. Heat kills larvae. IGRs, insect growth regulators, to stop the next generation. What happens a year from now? A dog that has suffered such severe abandonment may always have biological echoes of his past. Even after he looks healthy, his kidneys may have been taxed by the dehydration of his time on the streets. We discuss the importance of lifelong, senior-style screenings for rescue dogs, regardless of their actual age. The transformation we see on screen is a miracle, yes, but it is a miracle of science, patience, and the unbreakable bond between species. When we groom a dog like this, we are not just making them pretty, we are making them whole.